Namaste, my friends. My name is Lindsay, and we're back outside filming today. Today will be a short morning flow that you can do right when you wake up. So good kind of stretchy, waking up the muscles, waking up the ligaments, the soft tissues kind of flow, full body in nature. And I will encourage you to grab whatever equipment you need to get started, whether that's a block, some kind of belt or strap, especially if you're feeling tight this morning. And with that all being said, I'm going to meet you in a child's pose. So let's bring the big toes to touch. Knees can be about hip distance or maybe a little bit wider. So you can try out the two, see what feels better for your hips. And then let's just rest the forehead down towards the mat as we extend the arms out in front. Spread wide through the fingertips. And no worries if the seat isn't connecting to the heels, that's totally fine, especially if we're feeling tight in the hips as we wake up in the morning. And let's just take a few cleansing breaths to start off our practice. Breathing in through the nose, slow, deep, and let's sigh it out through the mouth, let it go. Let's do two more like that. Breathing in, maybe finding an intention, something that you want in your day. And exhale, let any negative energy, any negative thoughts out as you sigh out through the mouth. One more time. Breathing in through the nose. And then sighing out through the mouth. Let's walk the hands over to the right side of your mat. Maybe they come off the mat today. Maybe the forehead can stay pretty close to the ground if not touching. Try to ground down through the left sit bone. Inhale and exhale here. Maybe the left hand stacks over the right. One more inhale, one more exhale breath. And your next inhale, let's come back to center. Exhale when you get there. Coming over to the second side, hands come over to the left. Try to connect the right sit bone down. Hips stay almost towards the center of the mat, really twisting from the torso, stretching through the side body. Let's inhale here and exhale here. Then maybe the right hand wants to stack over top of the left to increase this stretch just as an option. Let's take one more inhale and one more exhale breath here. Inhale back through center. One final exhale in your child's pose. Inhale brings you up into your tabletop position, knees under hips, hands under shoulders. Let's extend the right leg along behind you and let's stretch out the calf. Just wiggle forward and back a few times. If it feels good, maybe hold that press of the heel towards the back of the mat, getting that calf stretch. And then inhale, let's lift up the leg. Bring the leg over to the left side, so behind the left leg. And then take the gaze almost towards the back of the foot if you can, if that feels comfortable for the neck. Just another side body stretch here. Draw the tummy in, firm in through the core. Be careful that you're not hyperextending into your joints, into the elbows. And then lift the leg back up. Draw the knee in towards the chest. Can you tap the knee to the nose? And then step the foot through, readjust the positioning in the legs, low lunge, Anjaneyasana, breathe in, reach the arms up. Now it's really easy here to just kind of hang out, or at least if you're flexible it is. Let's start to tuck the tailbone down, squeeze through the seat to allow the hip flexors to open up. Inhale. Exhale, hands come down, let's shift the weight back into our half splits. Flexing those toes towards the nose. Try to dig the right heel into the ground, almost draw it back towards you. Feel the back of the leg, the hamstrings, and the calf light up here. Now you can always stay here. I find that I get a little bit more intensity if I tuck the back toes and bring the seat down towards the heel, just as an option. And maybe play around with the placement of the arms. Maybe you want to come into a little baby twist, almost reaching the nose, the torso to the outside of the right leg. And again, this is just always an option. Inhale brings you back forward, low lunge. Pick up the back knee and then start to lift up the right toes. Bring that heel to the seat, squeeze the core, hold this plank position, and then send the leg up and back, three-legged dog. Right leg lifts, left heel plants down. Keep the leg straight and square to start. And then lower that leg. Let's walk out that dog. First downward facing dog of the practice. Wiggle out those hips side to side. Notice anywhere that you're feeling tension. And let's take another cleansing breath here. Breathing in through the nose, slow, deep. Sigh it out. Exhale through the mouth. Let's inhale, come back down into our tabletop position. Let's just do one cat and cow before we reset for the second side. Let's breathe in, drop the belly, lift the gaze, tailbone lifts. Exhale, push the ground away, round the spine, draw the tummy in. Coming back through center with a straight back, neutral spine. Let's extend the left leg back this time, and let's just wiggle it forward and back a few times, stretching out the back of the leg, the hamstring. And if it feels good, let's just hold that weight back into the heel, almost pressing the heel towards the back of the mat. Keep drawing the tummy in. Again, nice stretch for the back of the leg, especially the calf if it's tight here. And then inhale, lift the leg up, squeeze the seat to help you do this. And then bring the leg to the outside of the right foot, to the right side of your mat. Start to bump the hips over to the right, and gaze comes to that back foot as well. Side body stretch. Be careful that you're not hyperextending through your joints, through the elbows. Inhale and exhale. Let's inhale, lift that leg back up. Exhale, draw that knee in towards the chest. Can you tap the knee to the nose? Contract the core around the spine, and then step the foot through the hands. Readjust that back leg, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Breathing in to reach the arms up. Again, notice if you're just hanging out here, you're not really doing much of a stretch. Start to tuck the tailbone down, squeeze the seat, and then gently come forward and down. You should feel the hip flexors start to light up a little bit more of a stretch here. Inhale, can you reach a little taller through the fingers? Exhale, hands come down to frame that front foot. Shift the hips back into your half splits. Keep drawing the left toes towards the nose. Dig that left heel into the ground. Almost try to drag it back in towards the hip socket. So this should light up the back of the leg for a more intense active stretch variation for the hamstring and for the calf. And again, if you chose that variation where you tuck the toes on the first side, please do so again. If you are tighter on one leg to the other, we are going for similar sensations. So oftentimes yoga teachers or fitness instructors will prompt you to replicate exactly what you do from one side to the other. If this is not possible because you have some tightness on one side, that is perfectly fine. Just work in the direction of evenness, and over time you might be able to close that gap from one side to the other. Now, if you took the hands over to the outside of the leg on the first side, again, you have the option to do so again, twisting to the outside of the left leg. One final round of breaths here. Framing that front foot one more time. Inhale to shift forward, pick up the back knee. And then can you pick up the left toes, draw that heel to the seat, bend the knee, plank position, and then shift the hips up and back, three-legged dog with the left leg lifted. Hips stay square, leg stays straight. Try to ground down through the right heel. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Downward facing dog. Let's lift both heels up. And then shift the heels over to the right side of the mat. Little twist here, another side body stretch. Inhale back through center. Exhale, heels drop over to the left. Inhale, heels lift. This time, right heel down, left heel stays lifted, bend that left knee. Stretch out the right hamstring. Hold it here. Let's take it to the second side. Left heel plants down, right heel lifts, right knee bends. Inhale and exhale here. Notice if you're taking any tension into the wrist. Try to bring a little bit more weight into the fingertips. Let's pedal this out just a little bit faster. And then bring the feet together, lift the heels, bend the knees, look forward. Let's step one foot at a time. Feet come to the top of the mat, hips distance, forward fold, opposite hand, opposite elbow. Let's sway it back and forth here. Feel out that tension. Make sure to breathe into this stretch. Coming back to center, let's breathe in, halfway lift, long spine, Ardha Uttanasana, hands slide up the legs. Exhale, forward fold, one more time. With the knees bent, let's curl up nice and slow to stand. One vertebrae at a time. Hands, head I should say, come up last. Let's breathe in, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold all the way back down. Inhale, halfway lift, your version. Neck is an extension of the spine. Exhale to release. Again, let's breathe in, option to bend the knees, reach the arms up, tall mountain. Exhale, hands come through heart center. Let's do one more half sun salutation. Breathe in, reach the arms up, gaze can come up, make sure you're not arching the back here. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, your version, gaze stays down. Exhale, forward fold. Last time, inhale all the way up, tall mountain, keep squeezing the seat down, long tailbone. Exhale, hands come through heart center. Let's do one full sun salutation before we close off. So let's breathe in, reach the arms up, gaze comes up, keep squeezing the seat, engage through the quads. Exhale, forward fold, option to bend the knees here. Inhale, halfway lift, your version. Exhale, plant the hands, step back into plank, and we hold it here. Option to be on the knees. Draw that tummy in. Spread wide through the shoulders, spread wide through the fingers. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in to shift forward. Exhale, chaturanga all the way down to the belly. Let's take the hands a little bit wider than the mat. Tent up in the fingers. Let's breathe into a cobra variation. Point the toes back, squeeze the seat, lift through the upper back and the heart. Exhale to release. 3 more times like that. Breathe in to lift. Exhale to lower. Articulate through that spine. 2 more like this. Exhale to release. Inhale. And let's hold it here. Option to just hold this. You can always come down a little bit lower with the elbows bent. And if you want more of a stretch into the shoulders, into the back, let's bring the left shoulder down, open up to the right side of the mat. Inhale and exhale here. Inhale back through center. Exhale, second side. Dip the right shoulder, open up the chest to the left. Inhale, exhale here. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale to release. Let's plant the hands down. Pass through tabletop position. Tuck the toes. Let's come up to the knees. Let's do a little baby back bend here. Option to keep the toes tucked. Might be a little bit easier as we come into our camel pose, or you can untuck the toes if you're feeling relatively open into the hips and into the back here. Let's start by bringing the hands just behind the back. Low back just above the seat area. Draw the tailbone down, squeeze the seat, and let's start to gently open up through the heart space, slightly pushing the hips forward. And again, no tension into the low back. If you're feeling tension in the low back or issues breathing at all, then you know you've gone too far. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale brings you back up. Exhale, child's pose. Let the spine round out. We'll do this one more time with an option to advance. Coming back up, again, option for the toes to be tucked here. Now you can come into the same variation with the hands to the back, squeezing the seat, opening up through the heart. Now maybe if the toes are tucked and you want to try this full camel out, you can reach for the heels. Again, as long as there's no tension into the back, gaze can be where you like. Try not to yank the neck back too far. You can always untuck the toes here to increase the stretch. Maybe even reach for the ground behind you. Keep squeezing the seat, drawing the tummy in. Lift, open up through the heart. One more inhale. One more exhale. Hands come to the back if they weren't already there. And we'll release into our child's pose one last time. Three more breaths here. Now let's start to come up. We'll close off with some twists because we've been working really into side body stretches for the spine. So let's work into our twisting motions as well, just to get the full mobility of the spine. Let's extend the left leg forward. Right foot comes to the outside of the left leg. Let's hold that right leg with the left arm. Opposite hand can come behind you. Now, if you want more of an intense stretch, you can always bring the elbow to the outside of the leg. Whatever feels good for you today. Try to stack those shoulders over top of the hips so we're not leaning back, and keep flexing, engaging through that extended foot. Gaze can come behind you here, keeping the spine long. Keep reaching the crown towards the sky, the ceiling. Let's twist out of this. Take that same foot to the inside of the left leg, and let's just walk the hands down in front of you, almost reaching towards that front foot. Now you can always reach for a strap or a belt or some kind of tie here if you're feeling a little bit tight into the hamstrings and you can't reach the foot. Inhale, let's come back up, switch to the second side. Right leg extends, the left foot comes to the outside of that right leg. We'll twist the leg with the opposite hand. So right hand and arm reaches for the left leg, opposite hand comes behind you. Gaze can be where you'd like. Maybe you can reach the spine a little bit taller, reach through the crown of the head. Maybe the gaze comes behind the back shoulder if that feels comfortable for the neck. Keep flexing the right toes up towards the ceiling. And let's release. Bringing the same foot to the inside of the leg, so left foot to the inside of the right leg, and we'll walk the hands down for that foot. Now, rather than trying to just dump our way down, let's try to find extension first, so reaching tall through the spine, almost like you're trying to reach the nose past the toes. And when you reach your sticking point and you can't go any further, then start to gently round and neutralize the spine out. One more breath here. Inhale to release and come back up. Just find your way into a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. Maybe you're seated up on a block or a bolster. And let's just close off the eyes, take the hands towards the legs with the palms facing up. If you don't feel comfortable closing the eyes, maybe you just want to downcast them or focus on some kind of inanimate, some kind of unmoving object. Maybe tuning into any differences you feel now compared to at the beginning of the class. Maybe if you set an intention, revisiting that as well. I would suggest staying here or coming into a more standard Shavasana if you know you won't fall back asleep. And I so hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste.